Whether you're running an e-commerce store, a marketing agency, or even a brick and mortar store down the corner of a road, Facebook ads is really important in driving profitable sales. What I found here on YouTube is all the tutorials for Facebook ads share really simple and straightforward strategies, which are great for getting your first few sales, but nothing beyond that. Nothing about how to scale up quickly and gain sales really quickly. So in this video, I'm going to teach you some advanced Facebook ad strategies to explode your sales and scale up. I'll pull back the curtain and explain in more detail than ever some of these strategies that I used in a Facebook live ads challenge here on YouTube a little while ago that still works really well today. Overall, the goal of Facebook ads for most or any business is to produce a profitable return on every ad dollar that you put in, whether that be $2 out for every dollar that you spend on Facebook ads, or even $10 out for every dollar that you spend. Of course, the more the merrier, and that's what we call return on ad spend, or ROAS. This video is pretty jam-packed. I'll also be sharing with you some of the Facebook ads results that I've achieved, and don't forget about the tips that do pop up on the screen. They're going to be pretty valuable. So get your notebook ready, get your tea and coffee ready, and of course, don't forget, please give this video a thumbs up, and without further ado, let's jump onto my Facebook Business Manager. We're in Facebook Ads Manager now. You can see one ad set is currently running, but this is simply just a test ad set. I'm going to show you exactly how I'll be getting that PV conversions ad and creating that custom audience based on that video. Okay, so from here, we want to create a custom audience, again, based on video. So you want to select video, and now you're going to select that specific video that you have up and running, okay, and browse through that. Once you've got that, you want to insert in 365 days in the past, because you want to capture as many people as possible. Obviously, if this is a completely new campaign, then I'll only have a few days of data worth, but I always leave it as 365 days, and I'll create an audience type for that. But as you can see, the drop down menu here, we want to select people who have watched at least 25% of your video. Now, if you think about it logically, if we select 95% of your video, you're going to get less of an audience to remarket to, or to market to in general. But that's a high quality audience, because if you imagine yourself sitting through 95% of a video, you can almost guarantee that you're engaged with either the product or the brand. But we want a larger audience initially, so we want to create people who have watched at least 25% of your video, and then obviously you're going to go ahead and choose that video. So that's how you create that custom audience in the assets library. You want to go ahead now and also create a lookalike audience. Select your lookalike source. You're going to select that specific custom audience that you've just created based on the percentage of people viewing that video. Select the audience location. Now this is dependent on who and where you're trying to market to. And then select the audience size. Now, selecting an audience size depends on how much data you already have and accumulated on that pixel, but I like to stick to 1%, absolute maximum 2%. This is what I'm going to start off with anyway. So it's a video first campaign, PV conversions optimized, and that's an important point. Then based off that, once I've inserted in, let's say $100, $200, and I've got a significant amount of traffic coming through, not just to the website here, but also to this ad group in itself, well, then that's when we'll create that custom audience based on the percentage viewed, and then also create that lookalike audience based off 1%. And that's extremely important too. Okay, so I'm going to jump in here and clarify what exactly I've done. Some have confused video views and page view campaigns to be separate, but they're not actually separate. They're the same thing in this case. The goal is to get as many potential customers as possible to land on your website and store. So if you're already getting sales at this stage and with this strategy alone, then you're doing really well. You're in a great place. Now I'm going to fast forward about a week since setting up my ads based on the strategy that we just went through. I'll refresh the dates, and you'll be able to see my results from just a week period. Then I'll also show you my retargeting strategy, because there is no easier way to explode profitable sales with a retargeting strategy done right. We'll be looking at the date period of 7th to the 14th, quite literally. As you can see, There's no data here up until Saturday as well on the 6th of July. So we're looking at a 1 week period, 7th to the 14th of July. And let's go ahead, drum roll please. Let's hit the magic button, update. So update here, you can see amazing results. I'm very pleased with the results because within a week of the ads going live in itself, we've hit a purchase conversion value of 8.6 grand, 8,600 with the goal being 10,000. I am pretty sure I'm going to break through and surpass that $10,000 mark within a couple weeks. So I'm pretty stoked. Of course, let's look at the ROAS, and the amount spent was 1.4 grand. So as you can see, the ROAS is still very, very strong. And I'll dive deeper into the ad sets in a moment to show you the exact details and what has worked well, what hasn't. But that's our overall report. So I'm very, very stoked because within a week of this product going live, 8.6 grand. Let's be transparent here, 8.6 grand, you have to keep in mind that that is not pure profit, of course. You have to deduct first and foremost the ad cost and then the product cost. And I'll show you right here, if I go into 3-second video views, here we go. You can see that there's 33,000 3-second video views. What that means is I've obviously have a video campaign running and we're retargeting based off a 3-second video view frame. And I've created an audience of 33,000 purely from this video or videos itself. And that's a very strong component of this campaign. So you can see here, I've set the filters to only have campaigns delivered. Last week, you saw that there was an ad sets running or this campaign running. That was purely a test campaign that I ran with a small budget. But currently, I've scaled the budget up until $75 a day. And of course, you can't see the campaign names here, but I'll show you exactly how I structured this campaign. Let's add in an additional column here. Let's customize column and search for clicks. So let's go link clicks specifically because I don't want to see clicks on the ad itself. I want to see link clicks driving to the e-com site. And let's move this up a little here under impressions because I'm just pedantic like that. You can see there's a large disparity between the amount of link clicks within this week period. So this campaign here, which you can't see, this line is the prospecting campaign, and this prospecting campaign is a PV campaign to drive a retargeting audience. So this is why there has been so many link clicks, 1,000, almost 1,500 to be exact. And talking to this strategy, it's a PV campaign, like I just said. A PV campaign in this specific context is a conversion-based page view campaign. Why don't I use a traffic campaign? Many reasons for that, but I have found that a page view conversion-based campaign is much stronger than purely just a traffic campaign. It converts better, it creates a stronger audience, but that's the reason why you can see a huge link click disparity here. But it's also good news that it has driven conversions. Specifically, it has created a 4 times ROAS, return on ad spend, producing 1.8 grand, almost $2,000 here worth, purely from a prospecting campaign. Now, that's really strong. So let's just maybe go into a single day, for example. Let's go into to today, the 14th. And purely just from today, so it is currently about 2 p.m. today, so obviously the campaigns are still running in its early days, but you can see here that exact prospecting campaign, there's been no purchases whatsoever. However, because it's been running for a week, the retargeting campaign is so strong at the moment, it is driving all the purchases. As you can see here, it has an insane 22 times ROAS. So that's basically putting in $1 in, getting $22 out. Now, this is purely a retargeting campaign, and that is why the ROAS is so high. And looking at it, $665 produced just from 2 p.m. today, based off a very small ad spend of only $30. That's pretty insane, guys. Put in $30 today, produce $665 in purchases. And as you can see, not a whole lot of purchases. So the cart value of the actual order has been significantly high, which is also part of the broader marketing strategy, but I won't talk to that because we're just purely talking about Facebook ads at the moment. But that in itself, this ad set, this campaign, the retargeting campaign, has been the moneymaker. But with retargeting, it's not just a matter of just chucking up retargeting and hoping for the best. It is really about creating a full funnel campaign. So guys, I'm pretty stoked about the results. I'll go into the ad sets real quick and show you how I've broken it down even further from there. But let's go back to that week period, 7th to the 14th, which is today. And let's go back into it. So overall, on an average, just within the first week, we're looking at a 6 times ROAS. As you can see here, on average, of course, the retargeting campaign, which is highlighted at the moment, has the highest ROAS at 10 times. But guys, super stoked that it's produced 8.6 grand within a week of it setting it live. But as you can see from this journey, from this challenge, it wasn't a matter of just setting campaigns live. It's really about setting a foundation and a structure to the campaign, testing, and then really driving the budget and scaling that budget before you actually pour in any money into the ads and the website itself. Let's go into the ad sets now, and I'll show you more detail of exactly what we're looking at here. So specifically here, you can see the 2 campaigns here, and both has produced significant amount of revenue. But essentially what this is, because you can't see the ad set name, this is basically an A/B split test that I ran pretty early on, the first couple of days. Typically, one ad set usually wins out and beats the other one, but in this case, they're relatively even. As you can see, the purchase ROAS is almost both roughly around 10 times, which is extremely high. Not one of these ad sets has beat out one or the other. So what I've done is kept it active, kept it going for both ad sets. And one of them I've switched about, continued optimizing. And that's a very important point too. Continue to optimize your accounts, your ad sets, your ads itself, to ensure that it doesn't stale out, that there's no ad fatigue, and that you're continually optimizing so you're not losing out on money or you're not burning your cash without any sort of return on ad spend. Now, at this point, about a week, even 2 weeks after running an ad, the issue that most people experience from here on out is they're not able to continually grow sales, or their current ads that they're running on Facebook just run out of steam altogether. Obviously, there are many different reasons that your ads could run out of steam, but from my experience, there are 2 major reasons here. The first reason is you're not scaling your budgets properly, and the second reason is you're actually not scaling and using manual bidding techniques properly, or even at all. Manual bidding is really important, and so is scaling your budget correctly. Manual bidding is something that I go over in really fine detail in Social Marketing Mastery, and typically the ones that are able to produce consistent results and the best results know how to manual bid. Now, let's run through how to begin scaling, and I'll show you the results after the ads have been running for 2 weeks. We started the ads, as you know, last week, 8th of July, bringing it to today. So once we update that, let's see the results. The results have been, we've hit $28,000 in sales, guys, just under $5,000 in sales, which is a 612% increase in the amount spent. But there's reasons for that, because like I said, I've been focusing on scaling these ads last week. But again, extremely stoked with the results. A very strong ROAS, a huge conversion value here of almost 30,000 within 2 weeks. But this was all thanks to the initial campaign structure and also the scaling strategies that I will be speaking to today. So getting stuck into it, let's talk to scaling and CBO strategies, campaign budget optimization. And first and foremost, for those who don't know what exactly it is, I'll explain it with this graph here. Facebook's budget optimization is typically set on an ad set level. So as of right now, we see budget managed through the ad set level. However many ad sets that you have, each ad set has a different budget. However, Facebook is pushing people to change their budget level onto the campaign level. Hence why it's called campaign budget optimization, CBO, because budgets will be managed on a campaign level, and this will be compulsory. Right now, it's an option, but it will be compulsory. What does this change? Many things. The biggest thing is the fact that you're going to be controlling budget on just a singular platform, which is campaign overarching rather than so many different ad sets. And it can be convenient, but I have a few insights that I want to share with you guys that I've learned from managing different budgets on different levels. So like I said, essentially, we're looking at budget optimized on a campaign level rather than an ad set level. Now, how can you see this on Facebook's manager? Well, you can see this here. I've got two campaigns running on CBO and two campaigns on manual bidding. So you can see this by looking at budget here and also going into the edit function of campaigns. But the easiest way is to see the budget, and we can see these two here are being managed on an ad set level. So using ad set budget, these two here are being managed on the campaign level. And there's a few things I want to talk to about CBO, because in my experience, I actually find that CBO as of right now is not extremely useful. So what Facebook is trying to do with CBO is technically benefit their ad inventory, control bidding costs more conveniently through the campaign level, and then most importantly, save the advertiser and client wasted ad spend. So let's see how CBO stacks up with manual bidding. I will talk to manual bidding in a moment and show you how I manage manual bidding, but let's see how CBO stacks up with manual bidding. So let's take a look at this highlighted campaign that you can see here. This is a CBO campaign. The one underneath it is a manual bidding campaign. Almost exactly the same amount spent. As you can see here, I have managed this one manually, and this has been managed by Facebook automatically. And this is the trend that I'm seeing across the industry and for myself. With this specific test, we can see 30 purchases, 27 purchases. However, the purchase conversion value is a bit higher on the campaign that I managed manually myself. So overall, I didn't see much of a difference when managing budgets myself. No big difference in terms of amount spent, yet I can see that I've been able to target users who are more likely to spend, so to speak. So even though purchases are a bit lower, as you can see here, 27 purchases, we can still see that the average cart sales order is higher than average, significantly higher, 5.1K in comparison to 4.7K. So that overall ROAS, if you can see here, is higher than the automated bidding strategies. More importantly, I also wanted to talk about the cost per click. Huge disparity here, including the click-through rate. So 16 cents, okay, cost per click, in comparison to Facebook's automated 74 cents cost per click. That is a big disparity here that we're talking about. And let's talk about click-through rate as well, because obviously CPCs does impact click-through rate to a certain extent. We can see that 0.86% click-through rate for the automated bidding strategy, CBO, whereas 2.17% click-through rate when it comes to managing manual bids myself. Now, I recommend if you're completely new to Facebook Ads Manager, stick with CBO because it's completely automated. It makes things easier. However, if you're an advanced user of Facebook ads, and you know how to manual bid, then from what I'm seeing so far, manual bidding, although it might take a little bit more effort, you will see a larger ROAS, a larger return on your ad spend, and potentially more conversions later down the track. Now, it's only been a week, of course, with this test, but that's what I'm seeing overall with this specific campaign, this specific e-com store. So that's really interesting to note, guys. And I'm not the only person that has seen this result. I did a quick Google search and I stumbled upon this website, and looking at their results, as they said, we've tested in his results. looking at a campaign with a significant amount of spend. We tested CBO versus manual bidding, and look, this result produced 10 more purchases pursuing optimization on our own accord. So in other words, when they used manual bidding, they saw 10 more purchases in comparison to CBO. So let's add a little bit more into that. So CBO, campaign budget optimization, always has a time and place. Don't get me wrong, it's not that bad, but you have to be strategic about when to use CBO. Like I mentioned, Facebook ads is more a science than an art. It is quite strategic, and it's not like throw something onto the wall and hope something sticks type situation. You really need to be strategic with your ads, as you can probably tell at this point. When this strategy is done right, it works really well. And one of my other students in Social Marketing Mastery, his name's Andreas, he actually runs a marketing agency. He implemented a similar strategy for one of his e-com clients, and he boosted sales dramatically. Specifically, he said before this, he only spent about $30, $80 a day, and he only got about 3 to 5K in sales per month. And now he's skyrocketed those sales up to 20,000 plus, which is absolutely terrific. If you want me to show you the exact step-by-step funnel and the strategies that I use in detail, then you have to check out Social Marketing Mastery. I'm about to open up that program soon to the public. It's been closed off for about, I think, 6 months now. So I'm about to open that back up. If you're interested, I'll leave links down below in the description. It's going to be extremely valuable, and I cannot wait to take on more students. Stay tuned though, because in the next video that I'll be sharing, we'll be going over some manual bidding strategies in more detail. Obviously, it's a topic that is quite comprehensive, and it's a highly requested topic when it comes to Facebook ads. So stay tuned for that one. Hope you enjoyed this video. It has been a pretty long video so far, I think. Hope you got a lot out of it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down in the comments if you loved it. And until next time, keep on hustling.